I'm back at New York Safety Track this time in August for a little bit of redemption here because I wasn't able to beat my personal best after I put a wing on the back of the Corvette and some fresh NT01 tires. I was still a half second slower at the last track day than my personal best from a couple years ago. And it could be a couple things. I also haven't driven the car on track for over a year, and it was really hot out that day. So this is a nice late August cool morning that I'm going to get a good opportunity to try to lay down a personal best. But we actually had a pro race car driver bring his 911 GT3 Cup car to the track day, and I actually got to race on track with him, which was an experience all on its own. Just wait until you see some of the on-track footage of this absolute track monster. It rained a little bit in the morning, and I still went out anyway to kind of dry the track off, but I also wanted to just take my time and see where I could make up some ground. And I really found that going up the hill towards turn 18, I may be able to take that in second gear and not shift into third and come around 18 a little bit hotter. Here's a video of my best lap of the day, and then when we're done with that, we'll get into me on track with that 911 GT3 Cup. In addition to coming up 18 fully in second, which I just touched the rev limiter on right there, I actually really noticed there was a couple of places where I come out really wide out of a couple of turns, and I have the grip to stay pretty tight and keep the throttle down, so I did that, and that shaved about 0.8 of a second off of my personal best, which is now a 137.6. I gotta be honest, I was super stoked about it, but I also wasn't expecting it to be that good of a time. I actually didn't even think I was pushing the car that hard. I just made a couple of adjustments like I talked about before, and I just tried to not outdrive the car, and I laid down a personal best. And looking at that lap, I think I still have some areas where I can improve on too. It rained a little bit more before lunch, but the following session after it dried off, I got to go on track with that 911 GT3 Cup car I was talking about earlier. And honestly, I think for most people, being on track with a professional race car driver probably would be a very humbling experience, but I gotta be honest, it really wasn't for me. I actually thought it was so cool to see one of those cars in action and me try to play catch up as best as I could in some damp conditions. I consider myself a pretty good driver, but this really shows the difference between a pretty good driver in a street car and a pro driver in a 992 GT3 Cup race car. For those of you that don't know, a GT3 Cup car is a brand new car you can buy direct from Porsche that is basically a GT3 RS that has been fully gutted and caged to be a track car. And instead of having a PDK, it actually has a full sequential dog box to hold up better for endurance races. I believe the car makes 510 horsepower, weighs about 2,700 pounds, and has over a 9,000 RPM redline. I knew exactly what this car was when we saw it in the morning because I saw the air jacks. This is a very special car that I definitely geeked out over. You can't even drive it on the street from the factory. It is a purpose-built race car from Porsche.
He'll be passing both of you by the time he comes this way.
A few moments later.
And that's the last I saw of him on that lap. He was just pulling ahead of me in, through, and out of every turn. It was insane. We got back to the pits. He told me I did a good job and basically that he struggled to catch up to me, which I said, you're a really nice guy, but that's not true at all. He was super nice, gave us a lot of pointers, and actually took a ton of people for ride-alongs throughout the entire day. He was rotating people in and out of the passenger seat of that car about every 3 laps. It was pretty cool to see. And actually, a couple of the track marshals came up to him after a session in the afternoon to let him know that he broke the track record for cars. I think he said it was a low 126. But I don't know if he actually wanted that recorded. I think he was just trying to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to put his name anywhere on my videos. But it was great to hang out with him for the day and drive with him on track. Stay tuned because I still have a lot more videos I'm going to be doing on the Corvette amongst a lot of the other builds and projects that we have on the channel. And if you haven't already signed up, make sure you sign up for September 26th for our last track day of the season at New York Safety Track. And if you can't wait until next week's video, make sure to check out these videos that I already have ready to go.